And we could supply water to Letcher County, about 500 additional customers. That would make us be supplying water to about 1,700 people. We now supply water to 1,100 people. But it's going to be left up to you. Either way you decide, I'm just going to say I'm neutral. I could care less. We'll try to make it work with or without that Tri-City Utility Board, or we'll try to make it work with it.
Do they have a office?
They don't have an office, no.
How will their billing? Who's going to take care of the billing right now? Will it come through us and we just give the money to them, or?
Yeah, this is the way it worked. They would come in here and start to get established. It'd take them about 6 months before they'd even have an office. The billing, I think they want to bill through the each city hall. The billing clerks there now would do the billing for them until they can get established. They will not take over. John Covington, who is the KIA executive president, said that they would have to approve any transfer of debt service, any debts that we incurred now. KIA, who is a responsible person for the debts, who we pay the debt, our payments to, said that they would have to approve our debt being transferred to that Tri-City Utility. And John Covington is the person that insists that we form the Tri-City Utility Authority.
Why do we need the Tri-Cities Utilities Authority to tell us how to spend $90,000? $900,000.
Well,
It's changed so much, Adrian.
Can we not form the board to spend this money and leave everything else the same?
No, if you form the Tri-City Utility Authority, they take complete charge of our water sewage systems. They monitor it, they control it, they establish the rates, and they just control the system.
And it'll be made up of people from within the city that have already been appointed. Two from each city.
2 from Cumberland, 2 from Benham, and 2 from Lynch. That would be the board, or the Tri-City Utility.
What I don't like about it is they're really blackmailing us is what they're doing to push us into this. And there's not been a study done in any of the cities to tell us can we survive if we do away with the rule. I think it's kind of ridiculous to jump into something without knowing how it's going to affect us. I mean, this started out at $1.2 million, and it's down to $900,000, and we ain't even got started yet.
That's another thing. See, Mr. Boggs told me that once we started drawing down that money, we drew down quite a bit of it for repairing 2 pumps up at the water plant one time with the emergency, went out in emergency on an emergency basis. And we paid $85,000 for the survey to be done, and we paid $15,000 for Cumberland Pad Board to monitor the program. See, so and Mr. Boggs said once they started paying, that money belongs to the municipal waterworks of Cumberland.
Right.
And they can't take it back. And he says if we could document a case, and if they try to take that money, reclaim that money for some other city or some other purpose, we can file suits.
Well, the thing is,
and one other thing before you finish. He says we've got to do something now. We don't have months. We just have weeks to get started. That's why it's such an important issue right now.
well, the thing is too, they're telling us what contractors we'd have to use. That should be put up for bids and let us choose what contractor. It kind of sounds like a deal where you take this, or we're not going to help you, but they can't deny us. They're making it sound that way, that it's getting into legal matters.
I think if you're discussing situations like that with these men, I think they've already checked into the fact that they can take this money away from you. I'm sorry, I disagree with that. I think they've already checked that out. And not only that, my understanding is that if we don't take this, the money's gone, period.
That's a fallacy there.
Also, my understanding is that we will have some money to get Leo Miller to go ahead and repair some stuff that's already there. That needs to be worked on before this even goes in. That's the first phase of it.
See, they've also got in the background, incorporating the sewage monies, okay? Now, Cumberland has got a $3 million grant to put in 7 lift stations, 7 new lift stations, and some other generators and sirens. That money will go through that Tri-City Utility Board. What we're doing is, well, what you would be doing is just transferring the responsibility of collecting and paying your way. Now, we've done this. The city of Cumberland has been paying their own water and sewage bills for over 50 years.
But
If we had our water leaks fixed, we could supply water to this entire region. And we would be transferring a lot of money to some other unity that we could be using in this city.
But honestly, I mean, is there a way that we could ever get above that point, get our head above water enough where we can do that? Because we're relying so much on the money coming in from the water bills, pay for other stuff, that we really can't get ahead enough to fix the leaks that we got. When these, I'm just making some arguments here, just bringing some stuff up. I mean, it'd be nice if we could use that money and fix our water lines and do that kind of stuff. It would be. I'd be all for that. But if we're taking the money that's supposed to be used to repair them for other things that we have to right now, and I understand we have to do that, we're never going to get to that.
Well, okay.
I think you're right. I think either way, we're going to have to raise our water rates. If
Yeah.
we do it ourselves, or if we go with them, water rates are going to have to go up.
They are going to have to. I believe they'll have to go up too.
This way, I feel like we're guaranteed that that water and that sewer is gonna be taken care of. Now, you're talking about we've been doing it for 50 years. Yes, we've been doing it for 50 years. Look at the condition it's in. I mean, you know, we're just trying to be logical. And to me, this is the first step towards getting these communities to work together. I feel like the water bills will honestly go down if you have all these people. The people of Letcher County will get it. I mean, if this is the only way we get the money's been sitting there, then I feel like this is the way we ought to go. Now, I got all that information, at council had all kinds of questions. And I divvied up that information. The only information I handed out are the questions that was asked by council. So, as far as I'm, as telling you anything about it, I can't. I mean, I've already told everything I can, but as far as I'm looking at it, if we've been doing like we're doing for 50 years, and we got in the condition we're in, so.
Well, my questions are the same, like Brandon said, we're using this money to pay for other things. Can we survive if we do this? If we turn all of our water revenue over to somebody else, can we survive? And I've not seen anything, any kind of study or anything that shows that we can survive if we do this interconnect.
Can you survive if we don't?
The other thing, if Robin's collecting the water bills, or whoever here is collecting the water bills, we're paying a salary for this utility authority. Are they going to give us the money back to pay for this salary and to pay for our manpower? I mean, there's so many questions. And then the only thing that makes it worth it to me is not even the $900,000, but it is the debt repayment. And that is, if I knew for a fact that they're going to take on these debts and that our lenders are going to say, okay, they can take on these debts, then I'm all for it. Because, we can't keep going on in debt and not have our head above water. But if I don't have that, right now, knowing what I know, I can't feel good about making a decision either way. And I know we have to, but whatever decision I make personally, I'm not going to be
Well,
comfortable.
we need to remember, I've always been a person that was willing to fight for something if I knew I was going to win it, and I'm willing to fight for something if I know I'm not going to win it. This goes back to the 9th day of February of 2001. There's been enough information brought in here. There is equal, people on each board. And this council is only going to speak for what happened